This is how we get down. There I am. Welcome in, everybody. It is a Friday. It's a Friday here at Coaching Company. On your way in, if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. But I know a lot of you are watching on the Stadium Network and everywhere the stadium is, so welcome in to our little show. We like to educate, entertain, learn, and laugh. I am the coach, and I navigate this ship every single day. Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, the list goes on and on. And today we're going to start the day off with a positive fashion. Unlike my picks yesterday, as I went 1-2, Gary Woodland came out strong, -6. So that was my only dub of the day. The Charlotte Hornets, so playing defense on the New York Knicks last night. Not our best day, although young Peyton, he was solid. I actually had 2 more plays there. Went 1-1 on my golf, but nevertheless, not a good day. We're going to rebound here today. Now, our schedule here at BTT Studios, we have 4 big shows. And if you haven't caught any of them this week, you've missed a ton of great content. So on the wrestling side, Coach and Bro yesterday right here on Stadium. What a great show with me and Vinny Roo. Catch it on demand at our BTT YouTube page. Also, our brand new show, episode number 2, the 2 count. Already over 11,000 views in week number 2. You guys are absolutely amazing. And then don't forget the last word, our Monday night show, immediately after Monday Night Raw with Big Tommy C and Gabby AF. So all of that, I need you to subscribe to both channels and consume all of our content. Also, we have a brand new merch store. And as you know, if we have good days, then somebody lucky in the chat will have a good day. We did a merch giveaway yesterday. And if we get to a certain number, then we will give it away, even a Fugazi t-shirt or a Kiss Up Mountain or a Coachin' Bro or a Coaching Company. We got a ton of things there at our brand new store. Now, a couple of news items before I bring the guys in. Arizona last night in the Sweet 16 scores 109 points. A lot of people think they're the best team left. They certainly played like it last night, knocking out John Calipari by 21. Arkansas still scored 88. Wasn't nearly enough. And what about the Big Ten? Flexing their muscles. How about Iowa, Purdue, and Illinois knocking off Houston in emphatic fashion by double figures? Kelvin Sampson comes up short once again. The second half of the Sweet 16 will come up tonight, so in about 30 minutes, we'll break down all of those games. Also, we'll look back at some specific topics in front page news in about 15 minutes. But I want to give away some merch today, which means we need to have a good day of picks. So, housekeeping is over. Oh, yes. There they are. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time here on a Friday, heading into the weekend. Let's beat the books. Oh, look at this motley crew we got here on a Friday. Let's start with the man right next door. Super busy. We got the PFL this weekend. Your Red Sox are back at it. Your Celtics are playing good basketball. You're a busy man. Mikey P, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. Yeah, great times in this household. By the way, I've never seen a first baseman get hit with a line drive and just go, that's it. Happened in the Red Sox game yesterday. Reds rookie Sal Stewart got hit in the forearm, and the Red Sox announcers were like, why didn't he pick up the baseball and step on first? So these Red Sox players are breaking wrist out here.
So he quit the game? Like quit on the spot?
But he like immediately motioned over to the trainers. He ended up staying in the game, but it was just so funny that as soon as the ball hit him, he's like, I'm out. He's like, I'm done. Play's over.
Finish the play. Finish the play. All right, next door, he is live from the Dirty. And with the international break, Big Chuck, how you been keeping yourself busy?
Morning, Coachman Company. No, always can find something to get into. We had a little international play yesterday. We don't have much but some friendlies going forward. But, we got basketball, NBA, NCAA basketball, NHL, soccer on ice. We have plenty to fill the needs.
When does the World Cup start, by the way?
June 14th.
Wow. That's going to be like a good month, right? It's like 5 or 6 weeks? Yes?
I think it's like 5 weeks.
Thank you to the content gods for the summertime. Can't wait for that. All right, and finally, he is super busy over there at Prize Picks, and he's got the best damn beard in the game. Soupy, good morning. What's good?
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, yesterday was a fantastic day. You got to watch baseball all day, and then at night, you got to watch the NCAA tournament. Exciting games last night. Hopefully, we can see more today.
It was. Like, the first two were super exciting. Then the second two, you had teams kind of flexing their muscles a little bit, I thought. So Big Ten right now is proving they are the best conference in America. All right, gentlemen. And, oh, by the way, Paul Skeens, Soupy, did not think yesterday was so great. First game out of the blocks, doesn't even last an inning. First game, 2/3 of an inning. More on that coming up in our first YouTube break. Gentlemen, I don't like seeing all of those X's on the screen. So we got to put that in our rear view, and we got to get laser focused and locked in. Put those two together. So I have one very simple question. Sad state of affairs, Soupy. Sad state of affairs. All right, Mikey P wants all the smoke. Best bets. Better be good. Start us off.
Well, it's March 27th, so it's about the only time we could ever bet on the Miami Marlins, Coach, because they're playing the Colorado Rockies. I am taking Sandy Alcantara, 6 or more strikeouts. I think I'll just say it like this. They're playing the Rockies, one of the absolute worst teams in baseball we have seen in quite some time, and that's including the Chicago White Sox. So I think Alcantara's out on a redemption tour this year. He was once a high-profile ace, a guy a lot of teams wanted to trade for. Now he needs to reestablish his value. I think he gets off to a good start doing that. And then St. John's, because, well, Coach Cal, you let me down. So the pasta is not good in Arkansas. I wonder if it's a little better over on the East Coast. I got St. John's to cover. I think they're a live dog. I feel like they can win this game. I'm going to be interested to see if they can keep up with the pace of Duke. I believe they can. And then finally, you mentioned it to open the show, Coach. PFL Pittsburgh goes down this weekend. I am shocked that a guy who is 15-0, Jakob Kasuba, at plus money, is taking on Natan Schultz, who hasn't fought in 2 years. Has not fought in 2 years, and the last time he fought, he didn't fight. That's why he's been sidelined. So Jakob Kasuba on the money line at plus money. I think that's a green cash easy.
I want my man Dalton Rasta. To get it done in his hometown of Pittsburgh. I wonder if Paul Skeens will come out to the fights after what happened yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, in the front row, Paul Skeens. Boo.
I think Pittsburgh wants to fight Paul Skeens.
Yeah, right now. I know. He may want to get in there and take out some frustrations. All right, Big Chuck, my guy. 2 big plays. You're up. Let's go.
And we're going to go soccer on ice to NHL, Red Wings and Sabres, and this is just one of those keep it simple. These two have combined for at least 6 goals in their last 6 meetings. I think we see lucky number 7. I'm going to go with the over 6 in Buffalo tonight. Then the NBA, this is a rematch of the Heat and the Cavs that played to the rare low-scoring game midweek. I see them getting back to their high-scoring ways. I'm going to go ahead and back the over 242. Get this, they've cashed the over in 9 of their previous 12 matchups.
Oh, Chuck, I almost played this one. I was right there with you, and I was like, nope, 243 is too much. But 242, I can lock it in. So I'm right there with you. A little synergy. God, I love when these two teams play each other. I'm selfishly, I want them to play in the playoffs. I really, really do. All right, Big Chuck, I see 2 green check marks next to your name. All right, Soupy, my guy, you're up next.
I got a little bit of synergy with Charles. I think it is going to be a high-scoring game with the Sabres and the Red Wings, but I think the Sabres are going to come out on top in regulation. So I just think the problem with Detroit is they are just too inconsistent. They're playing for a playoff spot right now, but they're not acting like it. They've lost 4 of their last 7 in regulation, and you cannot do that against a Sabres team that has been the hottest team in the league probably over the last 2 months. So I'll take them on the 60-minute money line. And then give me the Athletics, Blue Jays, over 4.5 in the first 5 innings. Kevin Gausman has actually been rocked by this Oakland that actually plays in Sacramento lineup. They're hitting a career 340 against him. And Luis Severino, he's just been he was too inconsistent last year. 4.64 ERA. I think in the Dome, in Toronto, I think he's going to get rocked. I think we're going to see a lot of runs very early on.
Boy, it feels good that baseball's back, doesn't it? Just adds one more, bullet in the chamber, so to speak. I absolutely love it. I will say, Mikey, that playing strikeout props on the first week of the season, you're not scared even a little bit. They're going to limit some starts, some length, some innings.
I would if it wasn't the Rockies, Coach. I mean, I'm just going to beat this drum all season long.
Oh, no, you won't. Oh, no, you won't. I can promise you that. Oh, no, you won't. All right, it's my turn. I got 5 big plays today. 3 of them are in golf, and they actually do exist. These are 3 second-round plays at the Texas Children's Hospital Open. Tony Finau against Brooks Koepka. Since Koepka's come back from LIV, he's done absolutely nothing. And remember when he said that regular season events don't really mean much, he only likes the majors? Well, he's playing like it. Yesterday, +5. This one's easy at -132. Then Ricky Fowler, he's starting to play motivated. He wants to get back into all the majors. Shane Lowry, since he double bogeyed 2 holes 3 events ago, he really hasn't recovered. This is another one I absolutely love at -127. Then the third one, Sahith Theegala. I lost on him yesterday. But what did I tell you? I said he would get off to a slow start because they just won $9 million at TGL on Tuesday. Hey, I was wrong. He got off to a great start at -3. I think he continues that today over Rasmus Højgaard, one of the Højgaard brothers. 3 check marks coming out of afternoon tee times. Don't wait to get those in. Then I got 2 plays on the hardwood. I'm going to go to the NCAA Tournament, Sweet 16. Last night we saw, 197 in the Arizona game. I think we could match that, if not go higher, in the Alabama-Michigan game, because both teams love to score, and Alabama plays 0 defense. So give me over 174, and I believe at some books it's come all the way down to 172.5 at some books. By the way, Raphael's in the chat. Any questions for him? And then finally, I'm going to go to the NBA, Pelicans and the Raptors. The Pelicans have quietly started to play really good basketball. The Raptors, they've been on the road for the last week and a half. They're happy to be home. They played Wednesday, had yesterday off, and now today get that home crowd. They have, 11 games left. They're an absolute playoff team, and I think tonight these two will certainly sail to the over at 229 at -110. So those are my 5 plays. Gentlemen, let's go 5, 7, 10, 12 plays today. What do you think the number should be for a merch giveaway on Monday? What are we thinking? 9 and 3?
Let's show.
Wow, Chuck, what do you think? He drives a hard bargain. What do you think, Chuck?
I think 8 and 4, maybe 7 and 5. It's the weekend.
We want to be very generous, don't we? All right, I'm going to meet in the middle. I like Chuck's suggestion, 8 and 4. Mikey, way too harsh. Way too harsh. All right, so 8 and 4, and we will do a merch giveaway on Monday morning right after Weekend Rewind. All right, gentlemen, great start to the show. So now Raphael and Chuck will be in the chat. It's popping. Any questions? We take care of everybody. Then, coming up on Page News, what happened last night? What happened last night? We're going to talk about it. Also, Tom Brady making a return to the NFL. Say it ain't so. And then tonight, look at all the blue bloods that are going to be playing in the Sweet 16. Can Rick Pitino shock the world and knock off number 1? Can Michigan show that they might be the best team? Can Michigan State and Tom Izzo, he's only got 1 national title. He'd love another before he is done. All of that still to come right here. It's a Friday. This is Coaching Company. We are live, as always. Say it with me on the Stadium Network. Come on back. All right, boys, all we heard in the offseason was how much is he going to get? How fast can he get out of Pittsburgh? Well, apparently, Paul Skeens was hearing all of that because yesterday at 1:10, 1:15, he was done by like 1:22. 2/3 of an inning, 5 earned runs, and he sat there and he looked like he had just been run over by a train. Mikey, what did you make of the very first game of yesterday and what a lot of people think is the best pitcher in the league getting absolutely pounded?
Two thoughts here, Coach. One, it was very ironic because the Peacock announcer started by going, Paul Skeens has a 2-0 lead in the top of the first. He's never had this. What it starts at 20, and he's gone. Also disgusted, Coach, because I don't want to mention the sports book, but a certain sports book refunded any wagers placed on Paul Skeens because he was taken out. What happened to, hey, I'm sorry, your guy sucked? Like, what?
Whoa. That wasn't Prize Picks, was it, Soupy?
It was not. I don't know what this sports book is, but I wouldn't be associated with him. Paul Skeens, I'm not going to put this entire game on him. Did you watch O'Neal Cruz in center field? It looked like I was playing center field. It was horrendous. Like routine pop-ups, and you can't find the ball. Even if it was as sunny as it was, professional players know how to find a pop fly, even in the sun. It was horrendous.
I don't know if everybody was mentally ready to go yesterday. I really don't. A lot of people are reading their headlines and thinking they're maybe a little bit better than they are. We had some young players play well. We had some great debuts. I think this is going to be an exciting baseball season. I really, really do. But these stars, they got to figure it out, especially Paul Skeens. All right, gentlemen, we got to talk about basketball. We got to talk a little football. And how about a head coach that says, I don't need any more cash? What am I talking about? Front page news, 5 seconds. All righty, welcome back, everybody. This is Coaching Company Live on the Stadium Network. We're on Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. I am the coach. Do not forget all of our stuff you can watch on demand. And I forgot, for those of you that are Sirius XM listeners, we got a really big show today. And you got to tune in right at the top at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Mikey, I know you've been following this story, and the wrestling gods are looking down on me today because did you and Soupy see what happened yesterday between MJF and Nick Nemeth? Need to see my guys real quick. Are we frozen? Need to see my guys. So, Mikey, these guys are going back and forth on social media. It got hundreds of thousands of views. Guess who my co-host is today on Off the Ropes at 2 o'clock Eastern on Sirius XM on my little radio show?
Well, it's not, first of all, it's not a little radio show. It might be the fastest growing radio show in all of pro wrestling and at SiriusXM Sports, Off the Ropes.
It's true. That's true.
Nick Nemeth. I'm just going to guess Nick Nemeth.
It is Nick Nemeth. And I'm going to ask him right out of the jump why he is going after MJF, who is my favorite wrestler in the world, regardless of organization. Soupy, anything you would like me to ask Nick Nemeth today?
Wow.
Awesome.
Nah.
Those hard-hitting questions.
I'm just excited because MJF is, I agree, he's one of my favorites too. Just his skills on the mic, his skills in the ring. I think he is one of the best pro wrestlers in the game right now.
I just don't want him to be pissed off at me, guys. By association. I don't want that. Or do we? Getting in the crosshairs, BTT Studios with MJF. I dig it. All right, gentlemen,
weekend's only a few weeks away.
What's that?
WrestleMania weekend's only a few weeks away.
I know, and from what I've been told, Soupy, plenty of good seats still available. All right, topic number 1. Speaking of Italians, which we weren't, I just thought I'd say that. John Calipari. He was the toast of the town, Arkansas making it to the Sweet 16. But we saw last night how quickly the story can come crumbling down. It's really, really heartbreaking when your season ends like that. And you also give up 109 points in the process. Is this the last Mikey P that we're going to see John Calipari really make a run and be a serious contender at any college that he is at, whether it's Arkansas or someplace else?
No, I don't think so, Coach. Number one, I want to stick with the Italian theme here. Italians like bread, so does John Calipari. He gets paid very good for what he does. Italians like beef. I think John Calipari may look at Rick Pitino and go, wow, he's got 5 years left. I mean, he's 5 years older than him. So I think Cal's got at least 5 more years to make a run. And if you look back at last year, the best player Cal had was Boogie Flan, who's now at Florida. And this Arkansas team is so much better than last year. I think you just put the resources in correctly. We'll see Cal, I'm going to say, for at least 3 more years.
I want to see Cal Soupy because I just want to hear his take on NIL, how to fix it. I think he could really morph into away from the sideline and into helping college basketball. Is that crazy?
No, but I don't think he's done yet. That's the one thing when we're talking about NIL is with the transfer portal and especially with college basketball and the eligibility, these players are turning around every single year. So your next roster could be your best roster, and Arkansas can make a run in 1 year. That's just how college sports is now with how it's ever changing every single year. So I don't think he's done.
Yeah, it's crazy right now. I have defended coaches in colleges ad nauseum here on this show. But what happened the last couple of days, I don't know if you guys saw this, but the NC State coach who's been there for, 1 season, was like, man, we're going to come back. They gave him everything he wanted. They gave to him. And then he had his agent email the team after the meeting on Tuesday. Didn't even have the guts to call the man himself. And the athletic director went out last night and he goes, listen, we all got lied to. Then you got the South Florida coach, toast of the town. Man, don't call my players. I'm going to hit. Oh, wait, you can call my players because now I'm leaving and I'm going to another school. These coaches, man, they can't be complaining if they're going to do this kind of crap. All right, topic number 2. Speaking of crap, I've never seen this before. Last night, game coming down to the wire. Nebraska and Iowa, a Big Ten battle. Nebraska trying to win their 3rd game of the tournament, 3rd game ever. And on the pivotal 3-point play, count it, they had only 4 players on the court. The coach said afterward, Fred Hoiberg, that's on me. Mikey, have you ever seen such a thing to have only 4 players on the court at an absolutely crucial time?
Goodbye, Chris Webber. Hello, Freddie Hoiberg. Yes, Coach, I have seen it because I lived in Chicago when he coached the Chicago Bulls. Your famous line was the epitome of Fred Hoiberg as an NBA coach. What are we doing? I don't even think you can explain the thought process, the decision. There's no defending this on that. It's just Hoiberg being Hoiberg.
He did try to, he said, I don't think the refs actually looked to see if we had 5 players on the court. But guess what, Soupy? I played college basketball. The easiest thing to do is to get 5 players on the court for a play for 40 minutes. Your take?
I don't think I'm over-exaggerating when I say you should be fired for this one. This is just simple, basic. Look at how many players you have. You can't make a mistake like that in the last possession of the NCAA tournament, single elimination. You lose this game, you're done. I know Nebraska, this is their first time ever being in the tournament, but you cannot make a mistake like that. I'm sorry, I think this is a fireable offense because it's such a simple mental mistake.
I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think the only thing that may save him is he has such a long history of coaching. He's been in the NBA and college. I just don't think that they would. I really don't. But we'll see. We'll see. Topic number 3, and I know I just trashed a lot of college coaches and college basketball, but this story I absolutely love. So Alabama plays Michigan tonight. And I mentioned on yesterday's show the big bet with Portnoy and one of his employees, and that's been one that I absolutely will pay attention to. But yesterday or Tuesday, one of the days, Nate Oates, the head coach for Alabama, revealed that in his first 16 years of coaching, 16 years, he made right around $50,000 total. $4,700 a year. And then before that, $500 a year. So they're asking him about getting a new contract. Are they going to re-up so they can keep you at Alabama? And he said, hey, I might be too honest. I might be too honest with all of you, but I get a $500,000 raise every single year. Why would I go anywhere? If they want to bring me a new contract, we'll look at it. But isn't it refreshing, Mikey, to have a coach say something opposite of what everybody else does?
Absolutely. And I think Nate Oates is very refreshing just in the world of coaching, no matter the sport or the level. You see the amount of passion this guy plays or coaches with, the way he moves around on the sidelines for his teams. He's one of those coaches who is meeting his players at half court. And when you talk financials, a lot of coaches, I look at him almost like Kurt Cignetti at Indiana. Cignetti never talks about money. He just wants a nice cold adult beverage after a big win. So I think Nate Oates is like, listen, man, I'm good. You guys make the narratives. I'm going to just keep coaching.
At some point, Soupy, north of 5 million, 6 or 7, that's enough money. That's enough money. And for Nate Oates to say, I'm not going, that's how I would be. If I like to live somewhere and I'm making millions, your take.
I think when Nate Oates goes to a young kid's living room, give him that story. Tell him that I worked hard and I grinded and look where I am now. You come play with me in Tuscaloosa, you work hard, you grind, you're going to find that same success. I love this. This is a refreshing story. It feels good. And in a sports industry where I feel like everyone's trying to squeeze the well dry, this is a great story to hear.
It really is. What's the difference between 8 million and 9 million? I know it's $1 million, but come on. All right, gentlemen, topic number 4 and our final topic here in Front Page News. Tom Brady has done more post-career than he ever did during his playing career as far as being out there, social media, all that kind of stuff. Just made a ton of money playing flag football. So in a recent interview, he said he actually was contemplating coming out of retirement to come back and play. But then he said it'd be a little complicated. Oh, that whole I own a team thing, conflict of interest thing. And what's he, 48 years old thing or 49? Mikey, do you think he was really serious about this?
Yeah, he's Tom Brady. Everything is about him. The sun rises in the morning and Tom Brady's in the headlines. That is how the NFL world works. Listen, I think he realized, I have ownership in the Raiders. I think I need to get out there. I honestly think, listen, we know how you feel about Fernando Mendoza, coach. I think he's looking at the draft board going one more year, maybe one more year. So Tom Brady, enough is enough. I'm officially over it. I'd actually like to see him go back into football so Greg Olsen can get the #1 job at Fox back.
Hey, you need to stop that right now. He only lost $7 million in salary with that move. Only $7 million. Greg Olsen was pissed, and he should have been pissed. He's better than Brady a lot. Soupy. On this story, can you imagine him drafting Fernando Mendoza or somebody to hijack the Raiders and then come out and say, yep, I'm coming back to the Patriots or wherever? To me, it's comical, but it's front page news.
And I think it should have happened. From what I've heard, it was a whole logistical thing with him owning stake in the Raiders and having to give certain things up in order to play. But I think the NFL should have made it happen because guess what? If Tom Brady's in, I'm watching, especially at 48 years old. That would inspire me to maybe get out there and maybe play like a flag football league or something like that and try to get to the big level.
Make it to the big level. Yeah. Can you imagine Soupy, flag football? Oh my God. I would go to your pro day though. You do a flag football pro day.
I would watch Logan Paul take him out.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Crazy. All right, gentlemen, well done. All right, we're only halfway home here on a Friday. What a vibe. I absolutely love it. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we lock in our best bets for the day. Also, coming up next, 4 games in the Sweet 16. We break them down, and there are blue bloods and stars all over the place. This is Coaching Company, live on the Stadium Network. All right, welcome back, everybody. You degenerates watching on our YouTube channel. As you know, we are knee-deep back into pro wrestling. 3 shows here at the brand and also a show at SiriusXM. And there's a lot of shows that are trying to get into it, like the Tonight Show. And last night, the biggest star in all of wrestling, Roman Reigns, he was a guest with Jimmy Fallon.
Phil, most likely you're asleep right now, so. And as you should be resting up because you need it, and you're probably a little confused at your old age. You're probably wondering, like, why is Roman there? And I'm here at home. That's because I'm a way bigger star than you.
Roman Reigns, everybody!
All right. You can get all of these great topics on our brand new hit show every Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It's me and JD, 2.5 minutes a topic, sort of 10 topics. It's an absolutely amazing show. We need you guys to check it out. By the way, Soupy, I'm going to start with you. Roman Reigns, when he's in a setting like that, he just looks like a star, doesn't he?
I love Roman Reigns' evolution over the last few years. You know, those early days when he left the Shield, they pushed him too hard, and I think that's why the crowd sort of got against him. But when he, quote-unquote, turned heel, his star just rose and just keeps going and going, and he is the face of that company.
11 main events, Mikey, at WrestleMania out of 42. That's more than 25%. This dude, you got to give him his flowers.
Well, you know what? I do love Roman, Coach, but I've got a message to Roman because he's older than me, and he might be on the Tonight Show, but I don't see him on the Coaching Company morning show. And maybe that's just because Coach and myself and Soupy are bigger stars than him. How's that, Roman?
That was terrible.
Oh,
Terrible.
Can we do a Shield fist bump?
Yeah. All right, we're back. We're talking hoops in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are halfway home. If you're watching us live, it's 10:32 here on Stadium, Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. 7:32 in the West, where I am sitting right now, just getting out of bed. Hopefully, we're getting out of bed with a lot of energy and maybe laughing just a little bit. Now, when I look at the 8 teams that are playing tonight in the Sweet 16, my mind takes me back to a time of yesteryear when it was about head coaches and about the name on the front of your uniform. So, gentlemen, I got to see my guys, Mikey and Soupy, tonight. And we're going to start with this one. St. John's and Duke. And think about the Johnnies in the 80s. Lou Carnesecca, New York City. And now they've got Rick Pitino, bringing them back to the glory days. And they're taking on another, think of the 90s, Bobby Hurley, the Duke Blue Devils, Grant Hill, back-to-back. This is a big-time matchup tonight. Now, it's the first one, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. 6.5 points is the number for Duke. Start me off, Mikey. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, I'm on St. John's as one of my best bets. I also believe they're a live dog. Duke has some injury struggles to be concerned about, and also the way St. John's has played defense. I think what we're going to see in the Sweet 16, as much as we love overs and high-scoring affairs, 2 teams tonight really focus on defense, grit, and toughness for me. St. John's is one of those teams. So I think Rick Pitino can get Duke a little rattled, kind of pick up the pace, and if they can force turnovers, I believe St. John's can win this game.
So last night, along those same lines of the total, we had 3 out of the 4 overs hit on Thursday. Soupy, Mikey thinks maybe tonight a little lower scoring specifically in this game. St. John's only scored 67, but beat KU by 2. Your take?
I 100% agree. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. Both teams very good defensively. Duke is the number 1 rated defense in the country. I think they're going to pick them up at half court. I think it could even be full court at certain times. I think both are going to be physical in their face. But I just think Duke's athleticism, their endurance towards late in this game, I think they're going to make a late push. It's not going to look like Duke will cover for most of that game until maybe the last 4 to 5 minutes, I think Duke pushes away.
Yeah, I think we need to remind everybody watching right now that Duke in the first round, and they are missing one of their best players, they were down 13. They were staring at a 116 upset that's only ever been done one time, but they came back, won by 6. Mikey, do you think that scare helped them?
I would like to believe so if I'm on the side of Duke, because you can't get punched in the mouth by Siena. Not when you're one of the best teams in the country. You have been all season, and you're trying to overcome adversity with injuries in your backcourt. It may have been a wake-up call. I hope it helped them if I'm rooting for Duke, but I don't believe it's going to help them in the long run.
Speaking of helping them, having a star, a legend on the sidelines, you just feel like you're more in control, at least in college basketball, in my opinion. And every time Rick Pitino, when he was in the NBA, it never felt like that. But in college, he is an absolute legend. And Soupy, if they can win tonight and get to the Elite Eight with Pitino on the sidelines over Duke, that may be the biggest thing that's ever happened in his career outside of a national championship.
I think it would be a huge momentum booster, and you have to favor them going into the rest of the tournament. To get a big win against Duke that came into this weekend, or came into the tournament as the number 1 team in the country, getting a win like that, I think it's huge for them going forward if they can pull it off.
All right, let's move to game number 2. And there's still 3 number 1 seeds that are left. Florida is the only number 1 seed that got bounced by Iowa, and Iowa is still alive. So there you go. Alabama and Michigan. The over is anywhere from 172 to 174, and I think we're going to have a ton of action and a ton of points. So, Mikey P, let me come to you. Michigan has probably been the best team that a lot of people just don't focus on, because it's been 34 years since the Fab Five, since we really had a powerhouse Michigan team. Are we going to start talking about them again now?
I believe so, and I think it's just a team culture for me when I look at Michigan. Yes, they have some very good players, but when I watch the Wolverines, I just say, wow, this team is incredible. You could look at Duke, and it's, the Boozer brothers. It's always that singular or maybe second star. In Michigan, you're like, I don't know how you stop this team. They're big. They play fast. They seem like they hardly ever miss shots at certain points when they go on these big runs. So for me, the way Michigan gels as a team is what could lead them to a national championship.
And think about this, Soupy. You got Michigan in this game, Michigan State in the next one. We have a chance to have five Big Ten teams in the Elite Eight. Does Michigan get the job done? And if so, I mean, this number's pretty big, 8.5, 9, depending on what book you're talking about. So the books believe Michigan's a much better team than Alabama.
I think that's because they have the size over Alabama. Alabama plays small because they play quick. They're one of the fastest tempo teams in the country. But I feel like Michigan can keep up with them. And I think that size in the paint is going to be their huge advantage. And the thing about Alabama is they chuck the ball up a lot. But when you get in their face and you make them contested shots, they miss a lot, and they can get cold really quick, and that's what Michigan needs to do. Get in their face, make those Alabama shots contested, and they can win this game.
I don't want missed shots. I'm on the over in this bad boy. I want every shot to go in tonight. All right, game number 3. And this is the one when you look at it, this is old school boys and new school boys. You got Tom Izzo, who'll say anything, hates college basketball the way it is right now, but won't walk away. He's got, let me check my notes, 8 Final Fours, 11 Elite Eights, but only 1 national championship. Will he get another one before he's done? I don't know how many he has left, but Danny Hurley already has more than Tom Izzo. 2023, 2024. They did not win last year, but they get Mikey P somehow players to stay for multiple years, for full careers. It's not a shock that Danny Hurley and UConn are back on top of the game, but this one is tight as far as the books are concerned. Less than 2 in most places. Your take?
I love Michigan State here, and I'm not sorry, Soupy. I'm going all Tom Izzo here. I talked about defense, toughness, and grit, and that is what Tom Izzo teams are made of. That is their DNA. And you see Mr. Hurley on the sidelines losing his mind. I think when his team cannot get it together offensively because of Tom Izzo and the Spartans' defense tonight, I think we're going to see a rattled head coach, a rattled UConn team, and Tom Izzo going to the Elite Eight.
I think both coaches are going to sound like this after the game. They're going to be yelling so much. Soupy, this is your squad. I mean, this is your backyard. You're a UConn native. Tell Mikey P he's wrong.
I think he's wrong because I think that in this game, what Michigan State likes to do is they like to push the ball out to their opponents. And you've got a guy named Alex Karabin, one of the best three-point shooters in UConn history, and he has been on fire throughout this tournament. I think this is going to be a big game for him. They do need solo ball to play better. He has not played well. He didn't play well at all last week, got into a lot of foul trouble, and UConn was very lucky that in a game against UCLA did not have their best player. This is a game that UConn needs to come out early and play well, or else if Michigan stays in contention, I think it could be tough. But I do think
And
UConn
let's
will
remember,
pull this off.
UConn, what's that?
I said UConn will pull it off.
Oh, okay. Let's remember, they did not win the Big East. St. John's won the Big East tournament. So they might have a little bit of a confidence problem. We'll see. All right, the fourth and final game tonight. And this is probably one of the kind of lost games that people aren't really focused on. You've got the SEC with Tennessee, and you got the Big 12 with Iowa State, the Cyclones. Can you imagine, Mikey P, both Iowa and Iowa State making it to the Elite Eight? But Iowa State, they are favored here. Most books 3.5, 4, depending on what you have. But the Cyclones, for most of the year, they were a powerful top 10 team. Now, they haven't been playing like it the last month per se. What is your take on tonight?
Well, I love my spot here at the brand. Let me start with that. So I'm going to just say this. I wish Iowa State and Iowa were not continuing on this weekend in the tournament. Just something about Iowa I've learned over the last few months. I actually like Tennessee to cover. I like this game to go over. I think it's when you have so much focus on the three games we just mentioned and you come to this game, there's going to be viewer fatigue, and I think everyone's like, who cares? Just score, please. Like, let me just cash some tickets. So I like Tennessee and the over tonight.
I think, and just for the record, I hate Iowa State a lot more than Iowa. If you know, you know. I think when you look at this, Soupy, this will be the lowest rated game of the night, and I don't think it's going to be close. There's really no star players. They're not really star universities when it comes to basketball. Who do you think has the advantage?
I think it's Tennessee. There's a lot of things that Tennessee does well. They know how to control the pace of a game. They play well in the front court. I think they're going to dominate the board. Iowa State, very good three-point shooting team, while Tennessee isn't. I think if Iowa can hit their shots from behind the arc, I think that's how they can win this game. But I just think Tennessee does a lot more things better than Iowa State, and that's why I think they win.
So do we think if Michigan State and Michigan win tonight, will this be one of the best showings that any conference has ever had? Because, Mikey, I certainly did not take the time to go back and look, but 5 out of the final 8, and I know the Big Ten has, 38 teams in it, but still, the point is made that they're going to have a lot of teams in the Elite Eight after tonight, potentially.
I love it because it changes the narrative all across college sports. Who won the national championship in college football? Indiana, Big Ten school. Possibly 5 of the Elite Eight could be from the Big Ten. So I think this changes. Bye-bye SEC. Hello, Big Ten, 24, 38, whatever it is.
Super, I got about 15 seconds for you. Bring it home.
Yeah, if it's 5 out of 8, I think the Big Ten is having one of the best years in college basketball. The SEC was good a couple of years ago. The Big East has always had a good showing. This was a down year for the Big East, though.
Yeah, this is usually their sport because most Big East schools don't have football or their FCS in football. But right now, the Big Ten flexing their muscles. And tonight, early Michigan and then late Michigan State could get the job done. All right. Great show so far, but we're only as good as our next plays. We got 12 best bets. We're going to lock those in here in about 8 minutes from now. And also, is there an NBA team that we're sleeping on that pounded the New York Knicks last night? We'll talk about it next. This is Coaching Company live on the Stadium Network. All right, gentlemen, the Chicago White Sox picking up right where they left off last year. Big Chuck tying a modern baseball record, 20, count them, 2-0 strikeouts in the opener of the season. Is this the worst start in the history of baseball? Go.
Can't be the best, but can you believe it? They actually took the lead in that game. I thought the White Sox would be kind of scrappy, but I was soon made to be made wrong about that decision. So no, it wasn't a good one. So anytime you have 20 strikeouts labeled to your team, it's not a good start.
14-2. To Chuck's point, Mikey, they took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first, and then they didn't score again until the top of the ninth. You can't make this stuff up.
You can't, but you can definitely believe it if you've ever lived in Chicago, so I can believe it, Coach. But you know what? I'm going to spin this positive because the White Sox have a rookie from Japan, Munetaka Murakami, and Soupy, $500 if you can spell it without looking it up. This kid hit an absolute bomb yesterday, and I know it went from 14-1 to 14-2, but Chicago's got to celebrate something, Coach.
All right. Who else wants Soupy to try that? This guy. Yeah, all of us. I'll give him $500 if he can just repeat the name.
Humihiro Umakagi.
Did you say Hubie Hero?
What's a Euro? What?
Yeah, it's a Hero World Challenge. Oh my gosh. This summer we're going to test some things out, and that is definitely going to be one of them. All right, gentlemen, it is about that time of the show. We have done our research, we've done our handicapping, and damn it, I want to give something away on Monday. So when we come back, we're talking a little bit of NBA, just a little bit. And then if you weren't here at the top of the show, don't even worry about it. We got you covered because we're going to lock it in a matter of moments. We're back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. I am the coach. This is Coaching Company live on Stadium. Lock it in. We'll recap our best bets coming up in about 5 minutes or so, but I got to bring my guys back in because, gentlemen, we are getting closer and closer. I mean, April is only 4 days away. So, Big Chuck, I want to start with you. Last night, the Charlotte Hornets, who are 39-34, they pounded the New York Knicks, who are the 3 seed right now. Now, they're going to be in the play-in tournament, but they are 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 5 games in a row. They've got probably the rookie of the year. So are we sleeping on the Charlotte Hornets to maybe sprinkle a little on something? Maybe not to go to the finals, but this is a team that I don't think anybody's going to want to play.
I agree. I've been saying that for a while. I love this Hornets team. Even though if you look at the standings, we've got about 10 games left. They could potentially get up to maybe the 5 seed if everything falls in place with them. But the top 2 or 3 teams, they haven't fared well against them. They've done a little bit better against the Cavs. So I definitely think they can make some noise, especially, I mean, like I said, the Pistons, they come in if they're not completely healthy, if they have to draw them, or even the Celtics. I think this Hornets team can make a little bit of noise.
Chuck brings up a good point. When you look at it, it's very jumbled. They're in no danger of not making at least the play-in. No danger of that. But the 6th seed, which is very, very important, that's the seed that does not have to go in the playoffs, a 7, 8, 9, 10. That is Toronto right now. Toronto's 12.5 back. Charlotte is 14 back. So they're 1.5 games, Mikey, back of not having to play in the play-in. Is that enough motivation for the Hornets?
I believe so. And you know what? They feel like they fit their team name, right? They're just that nagging hornet that can't get away from you. That thing that every time I watch a Hornets game, I go, yeah. I know they're winning by 12 right now, but the Knicks, like last night, they'll come back. Nope, the lead expanded to 16, 18, 20 points. And yeah, they cut it down, but the Hornets just feel like a team that won't go away. So I think they're in good shape here going into the playoffs.
I just think that they don't know any better. I think they're young. Knipple is an absolute sharpshooter. And sometimes when you're so young, Soupy, you don't realize what you don't realize. And I think the locals have really bought into this team. I think Michael Jordan wishes that he was still involved with this team. He'd be dominating NASCAR and dominating the NBA once again. What do you make of the Hornets?
Knipple, first player in NBA history to have 253s at the age of 22 or younger. He is fantastic. Wow. And I think they're playing with house money right now, and that's why they're just playing so carefree. They beat the Knicks last night. They went to the Boston Garden and beat them by 20, beat the Celtics by 20. They're not scared to play with the big boys. So hypothetically, if they get a 7 or 8 seed, they're not going to be scared to play a Detroit or a Boston in the first round. I think they could make some moves in that playoffs.
Yeah, that 7 and 8 is also very, very important because 9 or 10, you lose and you're out. At least 7 and 8, you got a little bit of wiggle room. If you lose, you can play the winner of the 9-10. But you just brought up some really big-time wins that they have had. So even if they don't do damage, guys, this year, this is a team that is set up for the absolute future. One other quick note, Utah and Denver. The total in that game is approaching 250. Big Chuck, what is too high of a total for you?
Nothing when it comes to Utah, even though I would rather have them at home. They tend to play higher scoring games at home. You may want to, they could potentially bring this one down, but with Utah right now, I don't see a total that's you get 250, you can even get to 260 with this team.
They saved me the other night. I had 240.5, and the two teams scored like 35 points in the last 3 minutes. And I was like, thank you for both of you sucking. I mean, both of you sucking. All right, gentlemen, we got to lock in. Coming off a below average day on Thursday, but I want to end the week with positivity, a great vibe, and a bunch of check marks so we can start Monday next week with a merch giveaway. So it is time. Let's lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, just 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Big Soupy, start us off. Go.
Buffalo Sabres, 60-minute money line, meaning they have to win this game in regulation. I have a problem with the Red Wings. They are just too inconsistent, losing 4 of their last 7 in regulation. Give me the Red Hot Sabres. And then the Sacramento Athletics, Toronto Blue Jays, over 4.5 in the first 5. Kevin Gausman, 340 average against the Athletic lineup. I think this is going to be a big scoring game very early.
Mikey P, let's go.
Sandy Alcantara, the Miami Marlins on the mound. And who does he got? The Colorado Rockies. Happy opening day for you, Sandy. We like him over 6 strikeouts or more. And then St. John's, I think they're going to punch Duke in the mouth. We don't need them to win. I believe they're a live dog, but I got them to cover that plus 6.5. And then on Saturday night, PFL Pittsburgh, Jakob Kasuba on the money line, welcoming back Natan Schultz, who has not fought in over 2 years.
And we wish the PFL nothing but the best. All right, Big Chuck, you're up.
I'm going right back to the NHL. That same Red Wings Sabres game. These two teams have combined for at least 6 goals in 6 straight. I think we see lucky number 7 with the over 6 in Buffalo tonight. And then the NBA rematch of the Heat and Cavs who played earlier this week. They had one of their rare lower scoring games. I think we get back to a higher scoring with the over 242, which is cashed in 9 of their previous 12 matchups.
And that game starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right, I got 5 big plays today, 3 of them in golf. So those tee off around 12 to 1 Eastern time. So get them in and get them in soon. Tony Finau, minus 132 over Brooks Koepka. Koepka hates regular season. Since coming back from live, he's playing terrible. Shot a +5 yesterday. Enough said. Ricky Fowler also got out to a good start. Shane Lowry, remember back at the Cognizant when he had 2 double bogeys in his last 3 holes to lose? He hasn't recovered. And then to hit the gala, coming off a $9 million team win on Tuesday. Got out to a good start yesterday. He beats Rasmus Højgaard for the second round. These are all second round only plays. Then Alabama, Michigan. I think we're going to have an absolute track meet for 40 minutes over 174. Yes, it's high, but I think they're going to go to 185, 190 tonight, and then one game in the NBA. The Toronto Raptors back home from a very long road trip. They're going to be motivated over 229. The Pelicans playing inspired basketball for the last month or so. You put these two together, I think tonight we get over 235, 236, something like that. All right, gentlemen, I like to wrap up the week this way because there's a lot going on. Basketball, baseball, hockey, MMA, a ton. So, Mikey P, what are you watching this weekend?
2 cards in MMA this weekend, one in the UFC, one in the PFL. Former champion Israel Adesanya is back, and I think this is a last-ditch run, Coach. We're either going to see one of the best ever at 185 pounds go out on his shield or at least go out having entertaining fights. So I'm very interested there. That's what I'll be watching this weekend.
I'm going to be watching both of those as well. And all kidding aside, I wish the PFL nothing but the best. I just don't know who's fighting outside of Dalton Rasta. Soupy, what do you watch this weekend?
I'm locked into everything. Baseball, college basketball, college hockey. My Quinnipiac Bobcats playing North Dakota on Saturday. The 2023 national champions. We got to get back and win it again.
Wow, maybe a little college baseball too. Huh? Big Chuck, what are you watching?
It's all about college basketball, MLB, but USA, they take on Belgium. Pochettino's U.S. men's national team. I think that U.S. could shock them. Look for them maybe to score a goal in the first half. I think they could take out the Red Devils.
Shock the world, Big Chuck. Shock the world. Gentlemen, well done today. Well done all week. Producer man, give me that one shot. It is now time for all of you to go out into the world. Enjoy yourselves this weekend. Be safe. Support your family. Support your kids. I'll be at golf. My son's got a big 2-day tournament this weekend. But understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire team, Love Ball, Big Chuck from the Dirty Dirty, Soupy, Mikey P, producer man behind the scenes, always making the show look like $1 million. I am the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're all about every single day. This is Coaching Company. Tell your friends live on Stadium. Have a great weekend.